I want to introduce our next two guests. Thank you, Nas Duncan, for referring them to us. Let me see. We have Lisa Clark Norman. Is that correct? Licensed professional realtor. And we have Hope Hollingsworth. How do you say your last name?
Coaxum.
Okay. And pull up your mics close to you so everybody can hear. You have access to the computer if you need to get on Facebook or anything, let people know where you're at and everything. You can do all that social media stuff if you want. And you're a part of the Mothers Support Group. Is that correct?
It's the Mothers 2016, but yes, it is a support group for mothers.
Okay, okay. Now I know. So I don't know. Like I know Na's story. I know her son was killed. Is that the similar? Y'all have had relatives. Well, first let me give you official welcome.
Thank you. So the Mothers 2016 is a support group for mothers who have lost children under various circumstances.
Okay.
So myself and Lisa have lost a child. They're not the same circumstances as Nas, but unfortunately we do suffer in the same way when it comes to losing a child, which is one of the most unnatural experiences in anyone's life as a parent. So as mothers, it's very difficult for us.
I can only imagine. Last week I told the story. I was coming back from a rally from for the young man who got killed in Brooklyn. He
Yes.
supposedly had Shaheed Vassal. So I rode down there with Kenneth Chamberlain, and on the way back from Brooklyn, he found out his daughter died in a car crash the night before. And that's who I was reading that they're having a funeral arrangements. I was one of the people I was reading about just now. And I'm riding back with him, and I'm only imagining how it would feel. You know, I lost my mother in 2014, and then now to lose my only child, my daughter. You know what I mean? Like to something like that, I can't even imagine how it would feel. I mean, you know, so you know, this as mothers, y'all gave birth to the child.
Yes.
You know, the child is like part of your heart. You know, whatever the situation is. So I can my hat off to all of you, and I can't, you know, I'm not even gonna lie and say I know that pain. Like, you know, there's no way I could actually know that pain that y'all feel.
I appreciate you saying that, because a lot of times we do get people who say, you know, I can only
I can only imagine what you
right,
feel or
right.
what you went through. You know, the loss of a child, or the loss of anyone, you know, that's dear to you,
Right,
is hurtful.
right,
However, there is not a word that I can describe the pain, you know, of what we go through on a daily basis, you know, things of that nature. So when we come together, we come inseparable with each other. You know, we honor our children, we talk about them, we cry, we laugh, we can yell, you know, we're able to let it out.
Yeah, and I think the most important part is that you're around other women who truly understand what you're going through.
Yes.
right. Another listener who is a mother who lost her child to gun violence, Donna Nolan in Yonkers. Her son was up and coming baseball player. Had just got
Yes.
signed to Oakland
We're
A's.
familiar.
She said, "Hello, mother." She's listening to y'all right now. So
Hello, Donna.
yeah.
How
Hi,
are
Donna.
you? Yes,
yeah,
yes.
she's been on the show. She's a friend of the show a lot. So, you know, I've had a lot of mothers tell their stories. You know, and for those like the person who killed her son was found, but in our situation and many other situations, they're fighting for justice for their loved one. And
Yes.
we've continued to keep, even Kenneth Chamberlain, he never mourned for his father who got killed by the White Plains Police Department 7 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Because he
that.
continues to fight,
Yes,
and now his
yes.
daughter just died. Like, you know, but he's never mourned. That's why I said his daughter died. He's never mourned his father because he's been fighting for justice the whole time. My mother
Right.
passed in 2014, and while it still hurts, you know, I did have the mourning part. You know, I did. You know, it wasn't. You know, hers was. It wasn't like the White Plains Police Department shot my mother. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've been
Right.
fighting, and
Right.
I still see the cops in White Plains walking the streets every day. Like, I can't even imagine that. So we have several people that have come through and told those kind of stories, and there's nothing like the loss of a mother's grief when of losing a child, regardless of what it is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a continuous pain because you have to live your life each day knowing that your child will never return.
Right.
It's the birthdays, the anniversaries,
Right.
the holidays. And I think just having a group and being able to support each other and not having, I mean, a lot of people might feel like, why wouldn't you go see a counselor or a psychologist or psychiatrist? But for us, it just felt natural to be able to have that conversation and a support group where there are women and mothers there who, like I said, who do understand.
And you know that you're not the only one feeling this, and you're not
That's
in it
right.
alone. So, what? When did you start? When did the group start? How did the group start? Come about?
It started in 2016. I produced a documentary called The Diary of a Mother, and I reached out to. It's funny because I met Lisa, totally different circumstances, but and found out that she had lost her son, and there were five women that were involved, including myself, and we did this documentary. And then afterwards, after the crying and expressing various emotions, it felt good to be around these women discussing
Yes.
what happened. And then afterward, Lisa called me and she was like, it would be great if we could, get some sort of group together to where women could, support one another and do all types of things, not just, this support group where there's, grieving, but movies or, shows and plays and things of that nature. So after that, it just came about, it flourished into what it is today. I mean, it was definitely a process, that's for sure.
Yes. And
Here she goes.
Oh, nice.
How are you? How are you? How are you? I was wondering where you were.
I thought I had the wrong
Oops,
place.
oops,
No, wait a
oops.
minute, this is not the station.
Yes.
Hello.
Let me see. We have a little echo in the building. Turn everything down a little bit. Yes. So welcome Nas Duncan to the show. It's been on the show before. Feel free to pull the mic close to you, and you can.
Hello. How are you doing, Westchester?
Yes. So
Nas, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Bob. Hello.
Oh, great.
Hello.
Good to
Hello.
see
How are
Hi.
you?
Sorry,
You look
I'm a little
absolutely
delayed.
beautiful.
Thank you.
yes. So now you said y'all do other things. We'll talk about some of the things. That's what we were at. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we just didn't want it to be a support group where we're
just crying
just
all
crying,
the time.
just grieving. We want to be able to do different things with the mothers. I mean, we've gone to breakfast, and we've gone to me and Lisa, shows and movies, and so we want to continue that. We want to just encourage other mothers.
We also took flowers,
Yes.
a plant to other mothers who have recently lost their child, and things of that nature. So we've done some things as well. We just don't want to be known as a sad group that just cry
Right,
all the
right.
time. We want to bring some encouragement to each other, inspiration. When you feel in a moment, be able to have a place where you can either chat into. We have a chat. You can chat into it, text someone. Just a support system.
Right. And again, since I'm close to the Kenneth Chamberlain situation, I've gone with him, and I've seen him deal with other families who, again, have lost relatives, specifically at gun violence from the police. And I've seen how his just being there has been very supportive. And I've heard other families, like, I met a Kai Gurley, that's the guy who got shot in the Pink Houses. I met his mother. And I see how all these other, Eric Garner's family, all these other people, draw on his strength, because 7 years he has not given up the fight. And some of them said the reason they have not given up is because of him. And, just I see how firsthand, like, being there for other people, when you're dealing with your own grief, you know, being there for other people, one is therapeutic a little bit for you a little bit, and then two, how instrumental that is to helping other people.
Yeah, I think that it's important, even for us. We've gone to funerals, which for us, I mean, it could be extremely difficult. But to be there when that mother sees you, when she knows
Right.
who you are, and
Right.
she knows that you understand that day, what that feels like for her, you know, that encourages her, and she's appreciative of that support. You know, like you said, although you're grieving yourself, but just being there for somebody else, I think that's the most important part for us to continue to do. And we don't want to have any other mothers join our group.
Right.
We really don't.
Right.
But we're here.
But unfortunately, they will. You know, it's not like like Hope just said, we don't want them, you know, oh, just come on. But, you know, it just, like I said, it's undescribable. And when you do have the support, we seeing other mothers starting to come out a little bit more. You know, it's helping. You know, they're talking more. You know, for me, what I do is I honor my son every day. And this is the month that I lost him.
Okay.
So I lost my son to a heart illness.
Okay.
So I surround myself with hearts. I got a heart around my neck, hearts on my fingers, and I surround myself around a bunch of hearts.
Okay.
So what I do is the day that he passed, I go and purchase something and take it down to the hospital and let the social worker give it to a family.
Right. Oh,
So
wow.
that's my way of dealing.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have gone to hospitals last 2 years ago where we donated some items. I think it was right around the time holiday time. We went to the hospital and made sure that we, you know, did something that was special. You know,
Yes.
for me, I lost my son. My son served in the military, 9 years in the military,
Okay.
and he was killed in Afghanistan. And I honor my son every day. You know, I work with the veterans. I do a lot of volunteer work with the veterans. I also do a tie drive every year, and we give like a tie to veterans at different events, and that tie represents my son. My son loved to wear ties. So I think that that's really important, is to a way for you to feel a little bit better is to somehow honor your child, you know, and to make sure that no one ever forgets that your child lived.
Right. My mother, she was diagnosed. I came up here to take care of her, and she died a few years later. A few months later, stage 4 cancer. She used to help a lot of people. If your house is in foreclosure, or and if she would counsel, you would tell you how to save your house. And she was on a local radio show for a women's group she belonged to, and they sent me the audio. For a couple of years, I held it like my own personal thing. I didn't want to share it with nobody, but I wanted to bless, like, my mother. I shared it on Black Westchester 1 year for her birthday. I just wanted her words to be still able to bless other people who were in foreclosure and in those situations. And I've talked to a couple of people, and they've actually used some of the things, and they contacted me that my mother's suggestion. So that was my way of sharing and helping, you know, deal with it. But it took me like 2 or 3 years before I could actually share that with people. Like, that was my own personal. I didn't want to. Like, every time I needed to hear her voice, I was able to like play that little, and I didn't want to share that with nobody. I wanted to keep that close, but I did like last year. I finally did, and then I wrote her a poem for Mother's Day that year, and I shared it on at Mother's Day in the paper. So that was my way of honoring my mom. So, you know, I can relate on that level. You know.
Yes.
I think that's really, really important. It really is.
Yeah. So.
And it's at your time.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Everything is at your time, and I tell everyone I speak to, you know, I didn't just jump into it.
Right.
You know, it's all at your time. Once you start to find out what helps you,
Right.
then you will go towards that direction.
Right.
You know, it's all you go towards it.
I felt also another part. We started Black Westchester, but I actually was creating it on her bedside. Like, when my friend Damien came up with the idea, she helped so many people in the community. I felt like doing this is her passing me a baton, you know, and me helping this. I do this. I don't do what she did, but this is my way of like still helping my community, you know, kind of like carrying on her legacy, like that, you know. So that was that.
That
So,
is definitely, you honor her and by
Right.
helping and blessing other people.
right.
So that's what we're doing.
Right.
That's
well.
something that they helped me with.
Pull your mic closer to you.
I said that's something that they helped me with. I was struggling through the bereavement of Junior's death, and I did therapy and things of that nature. But I was still I'm still struggling. But I was really, really going through a battle within myself and several things of not trying to that was holding me back from moving forward. And someone at my job happened to tag me. I didn't know them. They tagged me and said, I think this would be good for you to go to. And for some reason, I was driven. Like nothing was stopping me. I'll find every excuse under the sun not to come out my house. But I was like, I have to make this meeting. I have to make this meeting because people been telling me like therapy is good, but you need a bereavement group. You need
Right,
a group
right,
to
right.
talk to some people
Right.
who've been through what you've been through. It's different talking to people in the street than sitting with the mothers that can say, this happened to me. They understand the not wanting to eat, the not wanting to
Right.
sleep, the not wanting to live, the have no. They've been there, and they embraced me with that. Because when I came to them, I was like in a mental mess. You know, I don't show publicly what I go through, but I conceal a lot. But when I'm within myself, you know, a lot comes out, and they instantly made me feel comfortable to share. You know, to break down. It's okay to break down. Don't let nobody tell you it's okay. You do this at your own time.
Right.
You know, excuse me. So it extremely came, it hit me like, okay, they're teaching me, stop grieving over your son, celebrate your son. Because I couldn't talk about Junior without tears before.
Right.
I would break down, like just hearing his name. I'm still not picture ready. No, I can't go to where he was murdered at. I'm not there yet. But I'm taking baby steps. And with the help of these women, they really, really, and I thank them so much because they're doing what Mama I Am was doing. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
and they really, really like helped me, and so like to be able to. Somebody at my job said to me, you know, I noticed you talk more about Junior. You're not you know crying or breaking down. And I even had a little joke with him, but I told him, and I always remember them saying, celebrate him. I have his chain as well. My son bought me for Christmas. And it has Junior's face on top of the world on it, his little logo. And it's celebrate him. And you know, the double try to mess with me from time to time, you know, and then I got a lot of stuff going on because I'm never going to stop fighting for justice. Get that twisted. Where the camera at? Don't get it twisted. I am not stopping fighting for justice for my son. It's just that I have to heal me.
Right.
I have to heal me to be strong enough to fight for him and fight without breaking down,
Right.
you know, without being angry at people or taking what I'm going through and putting it on other people.
Right.
You know, I want it to be clean and done the right way.
Right.
Not seeming vindictive or nothing like that, you know, whereas
Right.
it's just right now I'm in a place where I'm getting better day by day. I have highs, I have lows, but I got numbers I can call. I got to make those meetings, and I don't care if it's 2 meetings or it's 1 meeting, you know, or it's 5, or it's 2 people there, or it's 1 person. My uncle is in recovery. He got something like 20-something years in recovery, but I used to hang out with him and his NA people a lot. And one thing I listen to them say is that a meeting is a meeting as long as there's 1 person there.
Right.
And so whether it's 1 person or 2 people, I still got to release, because you got to release this stuff.
Absolutely.
You have to. I realized I tried to do it on my own. I tried to close up, hibernate. All it does is make you go crazy within yourself.
Well, I just want to say thank you to these ladies here for being there for her, because I've been on the other end of that phone for hours and hours and hours, sometimes just to listen, sometimes with a prayer or a comforting word, and I know.
Let me vent.
Yeah, so I thank y'all for having a group like that, and for you know helping her.
And like Naz said, we didn't know each other, but instantly when she walked through the door, it was like
A connection.
there was an immediate connection. We just, that was it. It was like you're here, not just us for you, but you're also here for us.
Right.
Right. You helped us too.
You help us too. Yes.
Yes, I wanted to let you know that you help us too, and we inspire each other. So we're there to help each other.
Yes.
We listen to you, you listen to us.
And it's a small world because we found a lot of little connections. Like a real small world. Like wow, whoa, wow, wow, wow.
So let me ask: is there, for anybody watching this and they're in that situation and they think they're going through it alone, is there a website or is there a way
There
to
is
contact
a-
a group or something?
Yeah, we have an email address, and the email address is themothers2016@gmail.com. So if anyone, yes, we also have a Facebook page, which is the Mothers 2016. So anyone that, or if you know a family member that's going through something
Right.
similar, definitely have them reach out to us. We do have our meetings monthly, and we do put it up on our page on Facebook. And every year in September, we do a butterfly ceremony. And
Okay.
we'll be doing that this year, hopefully, if not in September, the end of August. But
Okay.
we'll definitely put that information out there, and we'll, connect with you so that
Absolutely.
you can,
Absolutely.
let people know. And that's also very soothing and calming. And I won't say healing because you don't heal from this,
Absolutely.
but it is something where you feel like I'm around other people who understand, and it definitely does a lot for you that day.
Now, is it just mothers or fathers going through it, or a
Siblings.
sibling? That's it.
Yes, siblings, fathers.
My uncle attended the first meeting
Yes, he
with
did.
me,
Okay.
and he enjoyed it.
Yes.
He really did.
Now, the butterfly ceremony, I just like to elaborate a little bit on that. You get to release a live butterfly. So, I mean, we do, it's great, Hope, she coordinated at City Hall, Unity Fountain in Yonkers, but you're able to release that butterfly.
Yeah, and
So
it's
it's
very
amazing.
symbolic. It's very symbolic for rebirth. So we definitely, fathers and siblings. I mean, I have a daughter who, unfortunately, she lost her brother. So, my daughter goes through her moments, and Naz has her children, and
Right,
Lisa
right,
has
right.
her children. So they're not, they're family. So it's for all of us.
Both of my co-hosts, Lorraine Lopez, who's not here today, and Dr. Bob, if you don't mind me saying, have both lost brothers to gun violence. They both each lost two brothers. One in Yonkers, and other in yours, and hers was in Yonkers. So we cover this a lot. And
It's
that's why I was
traumatizing
asking, like,
siblings.
he
It
knows
is when
he
you-
knows from
when
a
you're
sibling,
close.
like those were his older brothers, and same thing with Lorraine. She knows as a sibling what that feels like.
Right.
And it's funny because my
That's
kids
why I
are
was asking,
stronger
like,
than me.
he knows from a
They
sibling,
really
like
are.
those
I
were his
think
older
that
brothers.
they help me. I mean, we go through our ups and downs as a family, but it's especially my surviving son. I say that, but he really, like, he's strong. I've seen him double up and become a man real quick when he lost his brother, and I'm proud of him as well because he stepped up to the plate, and I needed him to do that because I need him. People feel like you go through these situations of losing a child, and you can just move on. You can't. I try to explain to people when they say, I can't understand what you're going through. I said, it's different losing your mom because you lost a piece of your heart. When you lose your child, you lost a piece of your soul.
Right,
Where that
that's it,
child came from is where that pain is every day, and it goes through your whole body. So it's no one could ever imagine, and I would never wish this. I don't have enemies, but they may be my enemy. I'm not nobody's enemy, but wish this on no one. And I watch TV shows, and I see like documentaries and different shows having interviews with people who lost it, and it's like when soon I'm watching, I'm like, I resonate with that, like for real, for real. And I'll start crying, like I know her pain, like I know her pain, and it doesn't matter if you lost your child to gun violence, if you lost your losing anybody,
And if any
hurts.
loved one, yeah.
You know what I mean? But losing a child is like so different. And I try to put a lot of my energy into Junior's daughter. I feel like I'm her father now. I'm going to do everything to make sure that she's okay as long as I'm breathing air.
How old is she now?
And keep fighting. She's 6.
6, wow.
She's 6. She looked like she's 9. She's tall, just like him. She looks just like him. She acts just like him. She stands. She sits, and I can just watch her. When she's around, I have no sad feelings. It's weird. When she's around, I have no anxiety attacks, no flashbacks, no PTSD. Everything just goes away when she's around me, and I stay in touch with her. I bought her an iPad just to FaceTime because that makes me cool. Just being there, I'm close enough to her.
Absolutely.
But I'd say this because I heard somebody the other day was talking and they was angry, and they said, I don't need nobody. I said, you're a liar. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. You will wither away trying to be alone. I don't care. It might not be just somebody to talk to, that ear, just that one person, but everybody needs somebody. But when somebody say, I don't need nobody, I don't care how much billions you got, you need somebody. Just somebody. And it don't always got to be in the form of your family, because I have support from family, but my family is just my family. The support I have is like out here, and that's not my family. But they're my supportive family. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna always be loyal to my supportive family.
Absolutely. Bob, any questions, any comments?
Yeah, I know that much of your mission focuses on reaching out to women and other folks who are in mourning, sort of on a personal basis. I was wondering, though, if during the course of your work, you have happened upon issues, policy issues that you wish our local elected officials anywhere would take into consideration that would help those who are in mourning to better confront their pain and process it. Would take into consideration that would help.
I will say that as far as local officials go,
their pain and process it.
they've been very receptive. So if there is a time where there is a parent who has lost a child, it's I won't say that the reach out is directly. If I know about it, then I'll ask, is it okay? Can we get information in order to go to that
Okay, I see.
that person's house or
Right,
visit
right,
that
right.
person? And what's best is to give our number. Let them know that we're here for them if
Okay,
they
I
need
see.
to speak with us, or if they want to talk to us, or if we can visit. That's the best way for us to do it. But I will say that yes, local officials have been very receptive, and then sometimes it's just who you know. Yonkers and Mount Vernon are very small in regard to somebody that knows somebody
Absolutely.
that knows somebody.
Absolutely.
So when something does occur, that somebody that reaches out. Listen, I know you ladies do this, and I have a mom, and unfortunately, she lost her son or her daughter. Is it possible? This is her number, and then we're able to do that. But if it comes down to the local officials, I haven't run across any problems in regard to that.
Okay, and not necessarily to ask you to highlight problems.
Yeah,
It's just
no.
things that might be done to enable you to better carry out your mission. But it sounds like that is one excellent
Yeah, it helps.
thing.
It does help. And like I said, most of the times it's somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. But if it comes down to it helps. You're in an environment where those kind of local officials come into play, then we haven't come across anything like that, and sometimes it's just a matter of a reach out, like with Naz. So, but, and one thing that we're not political.
Right.
But
Right.
you know what would be good is if these officials, because I had to find this by way of somebody like that talked to me at my job and seen the mess that I was in and tell me. You see what I'm saying? So, but if they need to give this more exposure, especially with different kind of things, I'm seeing death more than ever. I'm almost to the point I don't like Facebook. Facebook has become one big running obituary.
Right.
So I try to refrain from it sometimes.
I've said
I
my
like to go on
condolences so many
Instagram where I
times
can
in the last-
shop. You know what I
6
mean?
weeks, like just,
Yeah, but there's people out there that not only did they lose their kids, there's people out there that lost family members.
Right.
For every obituary, for every post we see that's talking, you're giving your condolences to somebody.
Right.
That's somebody hurting,
Right.
and they might not be saying it, but that's somebody's family member that's going through what we going through,
Right.
and maybe they need that.
I
Whether
just-
it's their brother, uncle, father, child. Some people need it. People lose their mother in it, and I just lost somebody real close to me, and it's my best friend's mom, and she's like me, but for her mom.
right. And say the same way.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
I have somebody. Y'all have spoke on social media. Donna Nolan is here. She wanted to meet you. She came to the studio just to meet you because she had never met the one that had lost her son.
How you doing?
So yeah, come in.
Donna Nolan and her husband.
Yes.
Yes.
These girls right here. Sit down, Dr. Bob. Don't sit down. These girls are my. Oh,
Yes. So I got a message. She said, "I'm outside. I want to meet Nas. I never met Nas."
these two right here.
I'm getting out little bit by little bit.
Yonkers Raceway Diner. It's where we
Yes.
first sat and
Yes.
talked and laughed.
And that was breakfast.
That was breakfast.
That was breakfast.
yes.
We
Yeah.
love to eat.
And
Yeah.
I tell you,
We love to
I'm
eat.
glad I
They've
bumped back on
they've
them.
been-
They helped me so much.
Yes.
I mean, I reach out to people, like I talk to you online, and and I talk to people will talk to me, but it's like I say okay, but I just sit and I waddle in my own. I deal with it within myself, but even some people, like I met on Instagram, one lady, I buy some products from her, and I just happened to see one of her lives saying how she lost her son, and so I was telling her how, because I see how she is, like she's living, she looks so vibrant, and I'm saying to myself, how? Because I'm a mess. Like I don't think that I'm looking for justice, yes. But do I think justice is gonna make me better? No. I miss my child dearly.
Right.
Dearly. Like nothing's gonna change that. I'll feel good to know that that person is apprehended, but it's not bringing my child back.
That's right.
It's not
We
taking
talked
those
about this.
memories
Yes, right.
away.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes,
I miss my child.
Yeah.
That's what Kenneth Chamberlain said. They were saying that he was only out for the money. He said, "I would give them all the
Every
money that
dime.
all the money
Every
that-
dime.
for my father,
My
for
child.
my father to have my
And
father
you know
back."
what money does? Money takes, and you get people that capitalize off of their kids, or death or whatever. I feel like money make you forget for that moment. You know what I'm saying? It make you forget for that moment. But and there's no amount of money in the world. Strip me dry, let me look like a crazy person in the street,
get
but have
my
my
baby
son
back.
next to me.
Right.
Call me what
Yes.
you want. I got my
That's right.
child.
That's
right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there's no dollar sign that could ever replace or make me go fade to black on my child.
Right.
Ever. So there's nothing you can offer me. There's nothing I want. There's somebody had, reached out to me and they wanted to donate something into my Miami and all of that. I said, something, right now, I haven't really been focusing on that. You tell them to support me by supporting Justice for Junior. That's the support I need right now.
Right.
I don't need no money. I don't need no accolades. I don't do this because I want people to like me or to say, oh, Nas did this. No, Nas don't care. Nas just wants your help with that. You know what I mean? Thank you. And I said, be that kind of support, or when I do have something for Junior, you can donate to the memorial, because I'm trying to do that. But it's like I'm at a space in my life where for every 2 steps ahead, I get pulled 2 steps back. Like I have a cloud over me, but I'm saying to myself, I'm starting to do some mental thinking. Is that cloud me? Am I my own cloud?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I got to clear that up.
And Bob, to answer your question, Cynthia, who is also, I guess, part of Mama I Am,
Yes.
Cynthia Turnquest Jones, a former co-host of the show, she said one issue is when elected officials state victim assistance comes up and they offer to pay half of the funeral or something, but then they stipulate they will not pay the other half until they prove that the victim wasn't a menace to society. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like an issue that with elected officials. Yeah.
There's so many ins and outs and all that stuff that people don't.
Right.
They don't know, and they make it out like, oh, well, he was a victim of a crime. Well, we know that, and that they're going to do all this for you. But what they put you through, and just like Nas said, she could get justice. They make it out like, oh, and I've had people say to me, well, you got justice.
Right.
Okay, yeah, they're not out on the street.
Right.
They can't do this to another family, but it doesn't change the fact that I still get up every morning and say, I got to do this again. I have to.
While you're here, real quick, I saw your son on the news this week or last week, and we're talking about he was at a baseball park. He was on News 12, and he was talking about doing something for the kids.
We went to St. Patrick's Cathedral yesterday because the Live on New York, the donor program, so they do a mass.
Oh, right, and he got to meet some of the people that the organs.
We met the guy who got his lungs, Jerry, the guy who got his pancreas. We've been able to meet them and have established a relationship with them, and it's bittersweet,
Right.
It's again, I first time I've ever met her, I heard her story. I talked to Jess, and she wants justice. She wants answers. She wants to know who it is. Not that it's going to change her situation, but you know what?
Right.
I want them under the jail. I don't want to know who it is. I want them under the jail. I want them to do the Green Mile walk. The whole 9. I have no mercy because they did not have no mercy on my child. And that might be a bitter side of me talking. And yet, you know what I'm saying? The spiritual side of me, I pray for them.
Right.
I pray for you.
Right.
Because you to do that and not think of what you're doing to people, you're a sick individual.
Right.
And you're sick and you're not seeking help.
Right.
Like you're sick from the root, from the core. And but they're gonna get caught. I believe.
Well,
I say
I
that
know,
with comfort.
I know we also had set up families, Mount Vernon Families for Justice, and we had a big rally, and it had other family members in Mount Vernon. And one of the complaints from some people were like, oh, well, their son or their brother was this. I said, you know what? I don't care if he was the biggest menace to society. That still doesn't take away from the grief of the mother. You understand what I'm saying? That was her son. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, it doesn't take away from that grief. And I tried to articulate that within words and having you on and different ways. The grief of a mother is just it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, I mean, that's your son. You know what I mean? So. We shouldn't even have that discussion. A lot of people, when they live in the hood, a lot of people are involved in a lot of things. Some of us were, and we don't do it no more. Some people never got out of it. But I mean,
the only one can judge is the Almighty above. Right. So nobody can judge, and all the people. That's another thing that irritates me with social media. Everybody is like these analyzers,
right?
And people got to stop that because that's dangerous because of your thoughts, and you don't really realize how many people you have following you.
Right.
So if you're spewing out that, people's believe in it. And instead of, I research everything. You tell me something, I'm Googling it, I'm getting down to the root of it so that I don't look like an idiot. But I see a lot of idiots comment, sue me. You know what I'm saying? I see it, and the comments be like idiot comments. But I don't feed into the buffoonery and the clowning.
And you can't.
I really and truthfully don't. And sometimes some conversations will get so irritating to me. I have to chime in. because you know, to stop you from looking like an idiot. Let's reel you back in, because right now you these are not real lawyers. These people are just giving their opinions, and opinions like a doorknob. Everybody have one. So who are you to say that what that person said is right? Everything I say is not right, but I make sure I think before I speak,
Right.
so that I'm just not babbling.
So Lorraine Lopez,
Doing it anyway.
Lo-
They should.
my co-host that's not here, Lorraine Lopez, she said, "Hello, Donna, my love," and she said, commenting on what you said. She said, "Oh, her exact words is, I prayed for the fuckers that killed my brother, and I found peace. I found my peace."
You
Yeah.
pray for it, you know, and I'm praying for them, and I'm praying that they get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I found
and
peace.
Patience.
I found my peace.
I'm starting to grow those. You know, nothing too fast is good anyway. I'd rather, you know, God take His time and deal with it, you know, and let that person enjoy their moment, because it's gonna be short-lived.
Any last words about the organization? Again, website, Facebook, say all that again, how people can reach y'all, and all that.
So again, it's the Mothers 2016. Our email address is themothers2016 @gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page, which is the Mothers 2016, and we do try to update information as it comes to us, and when we're organizing different events. Our butterfly ceremony, we're definitely going to be doing that again this year, toward the end of August or in September. And we're just mothers who are grieving, mothers who want to support other mothers, and we just want to be an encouragement for other mothers or siblings or family members. We just want to be here. We're a listening board. We also are there to support you to speak. We have a chat. So we're just here for you if anyone wants to, you know, come out or contact us, or if they know someone. And then, you know, Lisa, what would you say?
I'm sorry.
And closing.
Pretty much, you said it all in terms of the communication. We're on Facebook. Usually when I hear of someone with the loss of a child, I do reach out to them on social media platforms. I mean, we're on Instagram. You can find us.
Now, what if for someone who is watching this, and says, you know, I want to support y'all. Is there a way, like, for them to show some support, make a donation or something of that nature to support your organization?
Absolutely. They can send us an email, or you know,
They can
send us
contact-
emails, contact us, and
Okay.
we can discuss the further details of that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I know sometimes people are like, oh, I want to support
Send us
that,
an
you know.
email,
So,
or
and we need to support our organizations. We need to support, you know, we need to support each other. If we actually
yes,
do.
we do.
You know, we really do. I mean, I speak on that all the time. You know, we have to support our organizations and our businesses. We have to support each other. Our community, you know,
Yes, we
within our
do.
community, we have to support. We can't always, you know, we're always looking for something on the outside to come in. Sometimes
I say that all the
there's so
time.
much we can do within ourselves, like within our
Yes.
community. If I
They
support your
people don't know the power
organization,
they have.
I always
Right.
support your organization. You support us, and
Right.
we support
We support
them.
each
and
other.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so much more that we all could do.
Yes.
Yes.
And within our power, so that's why, you know, I try to extend as much to, you know, with the airwaves or the paper or whatever, to get the word out about organizations and stuff that are doing the work that y'all do. I congratulate y'all with the work that y'all do, and I have an open door policy. If y'all ever need to come back and discuss some issue,
Lisa actually has another little project going on reform, so that's a whole
criminal
nother-
justice reform.
It's really prison reform.
Okay, we deal with that all the time.
Yeah.
We had some criminal justice reform activists. We also had the commissioner from Valhalla, who's doing a lot of reform inside the county institution, and we had some people were speaking up about the getting rid of the cash bail before that came through. We had like a 3-part series dealing with that, but that's constantly something we constantly are talking about and dealing with. So anytime you want to come, or if you ever just feel did you want to write something? I will definitely put it in the paper or whatever. Just whatever. So that's what we're here for.
Yes. So pretty much what I like to do is to definitely reduce recidivism, to really stop any more crimes from happening.
Okay.
I mean, if it's anything that I could do to deter you from going to shoot somebody or hurt somebody, to deter you over this way, that's really what I'm looking forward to, is to stop it, do something about it. We can't keep saying we want it to stop. We have to put something in place to stop it. So I've been helping a lot of people. They've been getting jobs. They've been changing their lives. Just stay away from the streets. I'm trying to make it safe, things of that nature. But it takes all of us to do this, not just one person.
Right. So Lorraine asked, and I know you covered it, but she probably didn't hear. Like, if your mother had passed away, can a sibling sister participate in your group? Like, if the mother's not there, can the sister? Can she participate as a sibling?
I know what you're saying. Yes. We wouldn't. We're not there to turn away anyone who's grieving. So yes.
She participate as a sibling.
I know what
Okay.
you're saying,
With
yeah.
that, we're coming to the close of the show. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in. Everybody, I didn't get to everybody's questions, but thank you for your questions. This show will be able to be seen later on blackwestchester.com. It'll be up later tonight. Again, I want to also uplift two things real quick again. The funeral arrangements for Kenneth Chamberlain's daughter. Let me pull that up one more time. The funeral arrangements for his daughter Shanice is Thursday, April 18th. Closed casket wake 3 to 5, and funeral services at 5. Community Protestant Church, 1659 East Gun Hill Road, the Bronx. I will have that all over our social media. And also, I want to bring attention to the fundraiser / reception for the memorial celebration of life of the late Mount Vernonite Orlando Moore, one of the individuals who died in the Dominican Republic. It's Tuesday, April 16th, 2019, 5 to 8 at the Steam House Restaurant and Lounge, which is located at 128 Gramerton Avenue. You can find both flyers on any of our social media. It will be up, and I'll put it, when I post the site, I'll also put the flyers at the bottom of this post for the radio show. So you could be doing anything right now, but you decided to ride with us, and we greatly appreciate it. This is blackwestchester.com presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com, giving you that real talk for the community since 2014. Until next week, peace.
22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it.